Hey, as I'm sure a lot of people are, including me, we're very excited for the launch of TBC. I've personally been playing on the beta and having a blast there, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering how they're gonna get the rep for the faction they choose in Shatrat, that being Aldor or Scryers. And today I thought I would showcase how you could easily get to Exalted with Aldor. Because there are more guides for Scryers than there are for Aldor out there. And for Scryers it's pretty easy, it's in Shadowmoon Valley. However, for the Aldor, your best bet is in Netherstorm. And if you're a mana user, this is definitely the best place for you. Because there is another place in this zone, which has a lot of Fell Hunters, but they mana burn, so it's generally not a good idea for mana users. But this place, these forge camps in Netherstorm, northwestern Netherstorm, this is where you want to be. So you can see I have some Black Temple gear, some Mount Hyjal gear, some Tier 5 gear, and some Sunwell Badge gear, so yeah. Generally pretty good gear. So the gear isn't really the showcase here, because you can outrun these mobs with the Pursuit of Justice talent. So you don't really need good gear to do this, you just need to time your trinkets and your DPS. So you want to keep the mobs in combat here with the Consecration. I'm using rank 1 to save mana. And do pulls with the Exorcism. I'm not using rank 1 Exorcism to pull, but you can use it if you need to save mana. So all of these mobs are melee. They don't have any ranged abilities. They will follow you very easily. You just need to kite them in a straight line onto your Consecration so they are kept in combat. And if you do that, you can easily pull them all. You ideally want to strafe to avoid as much damage as possible. You can see I'm not strafing perfectly here, so I'm taking more damage than necessary, really. This is mainly because I don't have my strafe keys bound. If I did this more regularly, I would definitely do that. But I use my strafe keys for other abilities in Raid, so I don't do that. I prefer moving with the regular binds. So you may see me going to very low health here, but of course we have the figurine of the Colossus in up our sleeve here, so not to worry. Popping the trinket here, and going all out with wings and the spell power trinket. I try to keep Seal of Wisdom up and Judgment of Wisdom on one mob, ideally, and just blast them down. The imps are a little bit annoying. They are spawned by the priestesses. You can just move on over to them and put a Consecration and they will die very easily. And as you can see, all these mobs just die and drop the items you need. So the items you are looking for are two specifically. There are Fell Armaments, which are green items that you can trade in for Holy Dust, which you can in turn use for your shoulder enchants. And these Fell Armaments is the reason I am here farming these guys today. Because I am already Exalted with the Aldor, so there's no reason for me to get the Marks of Sargeras, which are the other items you would generally use to get to Exalted. Marks of Sargeras are gonna be pretty expensive at TBC launch, so you will likely have to farm them yourself. But these forge camps have both a lot of mobs, and they are very easy to pull. They're all demons, and they have a very fast spawn rate. Likely even higher on Blizzard Zone servers, because they have layering and hyperspawns, so it will likely be even easier than on this private server, even if you have competition. But you can see in just that pull I got 2 Fell Armaments and a lot of Marks of Sargeras, and I will go over all the loot at the end when I've done another pull. There are a few things you want to keep out here. Silroth, the big demon there, you don't want to pull him. First off, he doesn't drop any better loot, and second, he has a shit ton of health and hurts. So unless you have very good gear like I have here, you will likely not be able to pull him and he will wipe you. Here, this ledge, this may or may not be in Classic, but as you can see I put the Consecration in the valley there, and I had some mobs reset because they for some reason choose to path over the mountain there. I haven't tested this in Classic yet. I will once my Paladin gets up there and gets Trinket. He's currently level 67. so I still have some levels to go. So I will definitely update on my channel here once I have that established. I try to just pull all the mobs back here, get that guy over there, and either I do the kill phase here or I move on and get even more mobs. But as you can see, I still have a lot of health and a lot of mana, so I'm just gonna move on here. And again, remember to move in straight lines each time you put down Consecration. You want to get all the mobs inside the Consecration to get a tick so they don't reset, because each mob has an 8-second reset timer. If you don't touch a mob for 8 seconds, it's gonna reset. Or thereabouts, like 10 seconds, 8 seconds each, about there. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just moving through here. You don't really need to stack as much mitigation as I have here, because the mobs aren't level 70, or even 73. With the gear I'm using right now, I am avoidance capped with Holy Shield, which you don't really need, to be honest. You could stack more spell power or stamina and be just fine. I try to keep up Seal of Light while I'm running to get some hits in, but to be honest, it's better if you just bind your strafe buttons and strafe to avoid them, because Pursuit of Justice makes you faster than them anyways. Like I said, it's not optimal that I'm not having my strafe bound here, but my gear is so good I don't really care. It doesn't matter a lot for me. And I'm just doing this to get the enchant, not really to get Exalted. When I did get Exalted with the Aldor, I grinded this place for, I think, 3 to 4 hours. And by that time I got all the marks I needed to get from Honored to Exalted. So it shouldn't take a lot of time. You will also get a pretty good amount of grays and greens and stuff. The silver itself isn't as amazing. I mean, like, the mobs in like Stradon give more silver per mob than these guys do. So definitely not a gold farm. But if you don't need the marks either, you can farm this place just to sell them on the auction house, of course. I'm pretty sure that would net a pretty good profit. As you can see, I'm running pretty low on mana here, or on, not on mana, but on drinks. And just to make people aware of it, the Consortium capital is just around the corner, and they sell Ethermead, which is also a mana regen drink. So you can always just swing over there and get some more. It's very convenient, to be honest. I'm also not using the Petrified Lichen Guard for these pulls, which I honestly should be. I simply forgot it in my bank. You can see it on my top right corner of the UI. But it would probably help this. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, there's been some people commenting about wanting to see me do stuff with the pre-Abyss gear and test out stuff without all my tier 6 gear and stuff, and I can understand that because it's not very representative for anything we're gonna experience in Classic TBC for some time. And I will definitely do that. I don't really have that gear on this server because I've sold it or disenchanted it. So I will gear up on the beta and make some videos there, and once TBC actually releases, I will definitely be pumping out content. I'm gonna be raiding in a pretty ambitious guild and gonna be raid leading in it, so we're definitely gonna be doing a lot of content. Both dungeons, heroics, raids, PvP, yeah, you name it. I'll be pumping out content here. I didn't really anticipate for this channel to have a lot of subscribers because I've not really been pushing it a lot. I've just been putting out videos I thought people might find interesting, and suddenly I had 100 subscribers, so I'm kind of unsure what to do with this, but I guess I'll just make some more videos and see where it leads me. Yeah, that ledge I hit there was definitely not the best. I could have avoided that. Cost me a few mobs here. I could have pulled more if I didn't do that. You can see I get a lot of debuffs. The Fell Flame debuff doesn't really hurt that much. You shouldn't worry about it, to be honest. It's not very dangerous at all. Like, honestly, for this farm, I think if you have a decent amount of avoidance, you should focus on stamina and intellect more than anything, because you will need a lot of intellect, or not intellect, but you will need a lot of mana to be able to do this. I'm not using any mana pots or anything here, so you could bring those for some backup. And I could also pop wings earlier to get back the bubble, so I could use that. But as you can see here, the loot from these 3 pools is 25 Marks of Sargeras and 4 Fell Armaments, and some greens and greys. You also get Primal Shadow from this, which is not that bad, so yeah. Like I said, 3-4 hours and you should have enough to be Exalted with Aldor, which is really easy, to be honest. And for protection early on, the chest from the Aldor is pretty nice. Very high stamina and defense. Can get you to your defense capped pretty easily. And of course the shoulder enchant, which is 15 dodge and 10 defense rating. It's really strong and really important to get. But I will probably make a video detailing the Scryers rep too. But I didn't do that first because it's more well known. So yeah. I'll try to do that on the beta though. Not on this Czech character, because I'm pretty sure people are more interested in seeing a beta Paladin and not this extremely geared one. But yeah, thanks.